What's up, guys? Just want to give you a little quick overview of Snapchat and what I saw in this play and the outcome it has and what potential it still has. So, in Snapchat right here, we had this nice gap up from earnings and basically just had a consolidation area, basically between 80 and 70. The main thing here is after the gap up, what I like to do is put an anchored VWAP on the day it gapped up right here. So it'll be July 23rd. And usually it's best to get into something that gaps up or gaps down when it breaks over this anchored VWAP and shows relative strength. Turn the MACD off. You could tell we had huge volume, and then it broke above, and then you can tell the next candle broke above a little bit less, but volume was going down, so you can tell it really didn't have relative strength in here. You could go back to the 10-minute and just see how it reacts to this anchored VWAP. You tell it's a great support and resistance, and that's why I love using it. But like there, I wouldn't get into it until it breaks above right here. You get broken above. Good profits in this one. You can tell how it's bouncing kind of. Then it's basically a resistance. Sellers don't want to have it any higher. We had a false breakout. It's just resistance, resistance, resistance. And then we had a false breakout. So what they want to do is they want to push the they want to test on how many sellers are actually up here for this all-time high, just sitting with their orders sitting right here on August 10th. They're just sitting with sell orders. So what they're going to do is they're going to test the breakout, see if they have enough buyers to overcome these sellers right here. This is where you see the large wick. So sellers came in, you could tell volume was increasing that day. But then the next day, volume just kind of lowered. So sellers didn't really come in overpowering, or volume should have increased. And buyers just stood in. They wanted to come back down to this area, kind of fill this little gap from here to here that it created, which would have been a great anytime the stock came in this little gap area would have been a great buy-in. But we were holding this 69 area every time it crossed, bounced off this 69.90. You tell we had a good move. Of course, it pushed this anchor VWAP. So you could basically say sellers are going to be on top of this anchor VWAP, and buyers are going to be below. I have multiple ones right here. I have from from that gap up, and I have this all-time high. And sometimes I do like to do a recent like a kind of a recent low, and you can see how it reacts to that on this day. We'll change the color of the recent low to purple. All-time high to, we'll do all-time high to white. So just see how it reacts today and this previous days. But you can tell every time the stock came down, wanted to grab more buyers, pushed up. We're kind of making a move right here on low volume, came back down. Sellers in the market this day pushed it really down, but we had a great bounce off the 69.90. Took it up, tested this downtrend break. One test, that would be the second test right here. And of course, the market on Monday brought it back down. Perfect bounce off that 69.90. And then you can tell how, look at it, volume's increasing. So the volume's increasing. The move's going up. Buyers are taking control of this big time. Broke this downtrend. So my PTs would be 77.80, and then the next one probably would have been this all-time high at the top of this downtrend. But we'll go back to we had a downtrend break, tried downtrend, then we kind of had like a little flag here, market brought it down. basically you want to think of it as they're not strong enough to get the stock back up to here and to hold this anchored VWAP. So buyers need to bring the price back down, grab more buyers who actually want to buy it at $70. Market movers aren't going to buy it at 75. They're going to buy it at 70. So they bring it back down. Grab more buyers. Test it again. You can tell it wicked here. Market made a gap down, and then huge volume came in, pushed it all the way up. Anchored VWAPs. We can look at today how this anchored VWAP reacted. You can tell how the purple is the recent low. This blue, you can tell how how it was a resistance, and then we used that as support. So buyers took that anchored VWAP from the, I believe it was all-time high. No, blues from the gap. So that was the main one. But you can tell the white definitely is from the all-time high. That's the one the buyers want to take back over. You can tell how it was used as a support right here. They broke over this one, took it all the way up here. We're holding here. Hopefully volume keeps increasing to that all-time high. But this was a great move. You could just tell, look at that big volume increasing. Main thing you want to look at is if the volume candle is matching the size of the actual candle, not like the increasing. This candle was this long, this volume candle was this long, the next one's this long, that's that one. So that's a increased here a certain amount, increased here a certain amount. Looks pretty spot on. So volume's increasing. Right here, hopefully we didn't wick again where we have to come back down and kind of start of a ascending triangle where we'll come back down, make kind of like something like that, and eventually break out to the upside, hopefully get the all-time highs. So that's definitely, this is why I exited. I saw some bearish flow, some dark pools. Hopefully they sold up here, the ones that bought down here. Hopefully it kind of fades after this great move. Definitely would pick up something long when it comes back down. Maybe retest this downtrend, come back up. We're still making higher lows. It's a good thing to see. Anchored VWAPs, I want to go over that a little bit. I like using those. Something I was looking at Bumble today. I like to do anchored VWAPs on, this is a recent IPO, so I like to take it from the first day it was IPO'd. You can tell how it was a resistance, like a good resistance here, and then a good resistance here. Kind of had a false breakout, so I'm going to look into actually getting into Bumble right here, kind of push it. See if buyers could actually take over this anchor VWAP. They haven't had this control. And then we could also do one from this all-time low. You can tell how right here it's used as a support. Support here, support, kind of just chopped around it. Eventually it was a springboard for that move right there. So I've been liking anchor VWAPs a lot more. It's a really cool thing to use, especially from like gap ups, all-time highs. Nike was one that had a gap up that I kind of watch how it plays out from this all-time high. You can tell, especially if the price is in between like two recent anchored VWAPs. They call it a VWAP pinch, and just pushing, trying to decide a point. Eventually break to the upside, break to the downside. But that's all I have for today. I just wanted to do a quick video on what I saw snap, how to play it, and everything, and give you guys kind of like a little insight of what I'm seeing in the market. Of course, it's always good to be bullish in a bullish market. And y'all have a great night, and hopefully we kill it again tomorrow.